Cool. Okay. So this is Canna Corner with Candis Dyer, and we were broadcasted live every Monday at 7:00 Central Standard Time. And what Canna Corner is about is to get the patient's stories out there. We know that cannabis works so well on so many people, and there's so many good stories. And so that's what this show is about. Y'all stories, so that we can get the word out and educate the public. And that's the key right now, really, is education. So yeah, that's what Canna Corner is about. We are also rebroadcasted on Wednesdays at WJAE 420 Radio and Sundays on KM420radio.com, both times at 2:00. So that's easy to remember. And then, of course, you can find it over on my YouTube channel, Canna Corner. And then I think we got a TikTok now, y'all. Go check out the TikTok. And then you can find me also on IG on THSI TX chapter, which it stands for the Human Solution International Texas chapter. And they are one of our sponsors. So shout out to them. And I'm a member of the board. And we work really hard to help with court support, as well as the mentor program we got going on. But I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. I'm really excited. That's been moving and shaking and going along, and I just cannot wait. Hey, Lori. Yes, ma'am. I'm doing wonderful, Tanya. Thank you. Yeah. So then we got our other sponsors, KM420 Radio and the Windy Love Edge, WJAE 420 Radio. And we've got our newest Go Green Botanicals.com. You can go check out all their CBD supplies in New Bronzevilles. He's amazing. He helps financially lots of grassroots movements that are doing a good job in Texas to try to legalize. He helps them financially and supporting them and putting flyers and stuff in his stores. So big shout out to Go Green. We love you, Ben and Katrina. Y'all are awesome. And then also we have Relevant as a sponsor. Big shout out to them. And you can listen to the live normally over there on Canna Corner. But we're having a little bit of technical difficulties. I'm trying to wait for the next update. For some reason, the last one kind of messed up with Android phones. But so we're going to try to get that figured out. And as soon as we do, we'll be back live over there as well. But let's see, sponsors. I think I caught them all. Yeah, I think I got them all. So thank y'all very much. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and add Miss Natalie Dean. She's our guest today. She is with the Human Solution International Texas chapter, as well as Canna Care Op, y'all. So she's an amazing, amazing woman, a badass activist. And I just love her to death. So, hey, Natalie, how are you doing?
Hi, Candice. Hi, everyone. I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing fantastic. I've been waiting for this show all week. I just love you, love your energy, and we just mesh well. So
we do. We mesh very well together. I've had some fun conversations with you.
Right, for sure. Like the snake, that was funny. You said, "Don't let me see the snake." That video like played in my head, and I was like, "Oh my god!" So
it was you held up the skin, and I almost passed out. I was like, "It's too much." She's got the pipes on, and now she's holding the skin.
I gotta remember to like put some kind of warning or something. I don't know. I forget. Some people are like deathly scared of snakes.
You need to put a trigger warning for people. Trigger warning.
Poor Wendy's girlfriend or wife. She's definitely scared of them too. So I know a lot of people are, and I apologize if sharing my pet has triggered you. I really didn't mean to. Yeah, I love all y'all.
It's funny. It's one of those things that, like, I was looking for a specific movie online. I was typing in Black Snake Moan, and a bazillion pictures of huge black snakes.
Oh, wow.
nightmares all night long of black snakes, like black mambas, water moccasins. Like snakes are just they're my one, like that, and alligators and crocodiles. Like those just scare the crap out of me. I could never go to one of those farms where you get to see, I would just fetal position cry it the whole time. Like, take
Oh,
me
wow.
home.
Yeah, my mom was deathly afraid of snakes too. And all growing up, I always wanted one, and we couldn't have one because we had teacup poodles and they were little bit
It
dogs.
would eat one.
She's like, it's going to eat my dog. You can't get a snake. And so I couldn't. And so finally, and then when I married my husband, he's scared of him too. He won't even touch him. He won't get near him. And so my daughter asked him for a snake, and that was the key. He was like, I'm never going to tell you yes, but go ask your mom. And I was like, yes, let's get.
You're like, sure, we'll go to the store right now.
Well, our neighbor was having issues feeding it. And so he asked if we would like to have it to try to get it. So it's kind of like a rescue snake. So luckily we didn't have to pay nothing for it. Thank you to my neighbor.
I didn't know there were rescue snakes.
It's a rescue snake. And I got a pet rat that I've had or a pet mouse that I've had for 3 weeks now that I'm
Mighty
getting
Mouse
to that it will not eat. So
We're
I'm probably
buddies now.
too.
You have a new pet.
I got a mouse, a cat, and a snake, and they all probably want to eat each other. So
Probably.
it's funny. But no, I know you have an amazing story, Natalie, and I wanted to go ahead and let you just tell everybody, you know, cannabis has saved so many people, and I know you have a great story about that. So let you have the floor on this one and let you tell everybody how cannabis saved your life.
Thank you, Candis. So my name is Natalie Dean. Everybody calls me Nat, and it's a term of endearment I've gotten used to since gnats are like one of the top 3 most annoying things on the face of the earth. But that's cool. And my story with cannabis kind of started later in life. I grew up in a very strict Roman Catholic household. There were no Tylenol. Tylenol was a drug. So like we just didn't, it was never even presented to me until I was 18 or something like that. And I did it recreationally like everyone else at parties growing up. And when I really began to need it was for pain. That was the first thing. I was in a really bad 18-wheeler accident, and I mean, it was horrible. And I was put on Norco 120, 10 milligram a month, which turned into a doctor shopping 10-year habit.
Right.
Where being a mother to my 2 children back then, there's so much I missed and so much I regret that they don't remember, you know, that far back, but I do. And it's a guilt that I think a lot of moms or parents suffer when they're in an addiction, especially an opiate addiction. Any addiction where you have to have it before you wake up. I mean, you don't wake up without it, and you don't go to bed without it, and you don't eat without it, and you don't leave without it, and you end up becoming a hermit.
Yes.
And staying in your home and not coming out, and you do illegal things that you never thought you would do, and you end up in jail when you were probably voted the most innocent in the whole school, like because of these opiates that doctors used to prescribe for pain so easily. And it was one of those things that one day I woke up, I was supposed to go camping with my husband and 2 other couples. I realized I didn't have enough Vicodin. I called my mom crying. I was like, there's something wrong with me. Help me. And she said, we all knew you had a problem. We were just waiting for you to ask for help. And so my original sobriety date, and tell me if God isn't a sarcastic man or woman, is 6/6/06.
Oh, wow.
So I literally was like, can I just go use for one more day so I can be 6/7/06? And they were like, that's not how it works. You're committed in here.
Right. Yep.
So It was one of those things that I didn't think I could do. I thought I'm going to get out of here. And the second I stumped my toe, which I remember the second I stumped my toe, I thought my foot needed to be amputated. It hurt so bad because all that pain I had been suppressing, both physical and emotional, because I herniated and have a few slip discs in my back and neck. And no one told me at a young age that that pain would get worse and follow me. And so I settled on a very low amount, not being a kid and not thinking about the future. And it obviously does get worse with age. And someone just said to me one day, like, Nat, like, have you thought about smoking, cannabis for your pain? And I was like, the thought had never actually even entered my head. No one had said anything to me. My friend is a rugby player. I actually watched this guy saw someone cleat his ear part off. He super glued it back together and got back on the field. He got through a broken arm with cannabis, like solely with cannabis. So I started to smoke, and I'd always had some mental health issues as far as depression and PTSD and anxiety, things like that. And I do have borderline personality disorder. That's not something I usually share with public, but for anyone out there that is suffering with that, they'll probably, oh, right there, that's Candis. It is something that you literally, your mind fights itself. It says, do this. No, what if this happens? What if that happens? Let's just forget it all and act like it never happened, and just leave those people behind because they knew what happened. It's a very, it's mind controlling almost. And you have to learn about the disease before you can really help yourself, just like addiction. Addiction, people, it is a disease. It is not something anyone chooses. It is not something we wake up and say, I want to go get, screwed up today, or it's not something anyone chooses. It is a horrible lifestyle where you spend your entire day thinking about doing anything, cheat, steal, lie, you name it, to get your drug of choice.
And you're not even getting high anymore. That's just to keep you from being sick.
That's the worst part.
Yeah, you're chasing that first high that you had forever, and you're not getting really high anymore. It's just all about not being sick at that point. It's horrible.
And sometimes one drug does lead to a harder drug, which leads to 3 hard drugs. And before you know it, your kids are burying you, or you're burying your kids.
Yep.
We've got to protect our kids, guys. We've got to hide our medications if we take them. We've got to have honest talks with them. We need to talk to them about cannabis. And, our kids aren't going to be kids forever. I've got a 19-year-old that is living his best life in Austin. And he does vape a few times a week when he gets stressed at work. And we've had the conversations, and he's not on any type of pharmaceuticals, even though he did have a rough life too. I'm very proud of him. Now I have a 17-year-old. She's about to be 17. That's the complete opposite. She just can't wait. So she's a little different, but I've had those honest conversations to where I can ask my child, you want to go to this party? Are there going to be drugs and alcohol?
Right.
Yes. Well, then you can't go. Simple. Trust. It's all about trust. And when you don't grow up knowing how to parent that way, it is a learning curve.
Right.
And the way that cannabis had helped me with my depression and anxiety was I was like, what's going on? Like, there is a such thing as a life without certain medications. And let me tell you, being sober is the best drug.
It is.
You are unfoggy.
We spend so much time being worried about, how am I going to live life sober? Like, it's the most scariest thing to an addict. Like, but once it happens and once you're there, you're like, oh my God, I don't have to think about where am I going to get my next hit today. It's so liberating and so freeing. It's amazing.
And it saves so much money. like all of a sudden I was like, there's money in my account.
For real.
Where's this coming from? But so I just want to say, if you're suffering from addiction out there, try it. It
Right.
can't hurt you. It will only help you. And the other thing for pain that I take, and I was going to say it later, because the number one reason I do use cannabis is because I have a seizure disorder.
Right.
I have spontaneous grand mal seizures, no indications, no precursors. The last one happened when I was riding my bike on a street. It could have been really bad.
Right.
And I can't drive because of it, which is really hard. It does make you kind of isolate yourself. And Lori and Steve Totten, who I love dearly with Gift of Life and Canna Care. Yes, we love you guys so, so much. They kind of took me under their wing and pulled me on board with them and taught me a better way. They saw the medicine bag I had to take of medicine. They asked me how I felt about it. I told them about, this side effect and that side effect, and weight gain and insomnia and panic attacks, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like I was listening to commercial for a medication and they listed 20 bad things that could, and the last thing said, or cause fatality. And I'm thinking, how the hell are they getting away with this? Like literally saying this drug could kill you, but take it, man.
Yes.
And same with the cigarettes and alcohol, drunk driving, and just people being stupid morons out there. But yet cannabis, which has more healing properties than any plant, it is a plant, people out there, is illegal. And we have got to come together as a community, as a whole, as people that care about people, even if it's not their choice or what they believe in. Look at the stories, go online, do a little bit of research, ask, and see what people say, how cannabis has helped their multiple sclerosis, has cured their cancer, or given them years beyond what their doctors did.
Which
Help
just
children.
amazes me why it's still a Schedule 1. Like, obviously, the main definition of a Schedule 1 drug is there's no medical value whatsoever. Heroin and cocaine are actually not Schedule 1s because they have a medical value, your opioids. So it just amazes me it's a Schedule 1, and to begin with. It's just
there's no research. We need these scientists, and we need these schools and colleges. We need these kids out there, these millennials, to take it upon themselves and say, like, this is something that was a past generational thought process that the government said, this is bad. They can't control the money. They can't control the trade, nothing to do with anything else. And they just stopped it. Right. Nothing else done. But luckily, now that some of the states and senates are really listening to the people, they're doing studies and they're finding out this information that we've all known forever, that our parents taught us, or our grandparents, or whoever, and all I can say is that I've had more doctors give me misinformation, misdiagnose me, especially with the mental health. I will let you guys know, it's not a go to a doctor once and get a diagnosis. No, that's not how it works. No. And you have to be honest with your doctors and tell them that you use cannabis. Let me be very clear on this, especially if you are a pregnant woman and you are using cannabis. Tell your doctor. You cannot get in any trouble whatsoever as long as you and your doctor and the hospital are on the same page, and it is safe to use while you are pregnant. Just want to put that out there.
Right.
And a lot of women they have no idea. And I was with my first one, which he's 19. So it was back in the day. They had me on 120 Norco a month the whole time I was pregnant with him. And then with Claire, I knew I didn't want that. And my doctor actually said, like, hey, she was kicking my ribs, like actually out. I was having to go to the chiropractor. And she said, smoking marijuana is actually really healthy for you, but she's like, it will calm your baby down.
Right.
Your baby will not feel high, but maybe she'll be less active, because she was humongous and I was not humongous at the
Right.
time. I was tiny, and it helped. And I used it on and off with her. And then I didn't have to use it with my last one. I didn't have any problems, but the seizures stopped when I started using. At first it was just THC, but then Steve and Lori introduced me to FICO, which stands for fully extracted cannabis oil. Woo!
Or
Or
RSO.
RSO.
Yep.
Rick Simpson oil. And all this is the pressed leaf. The oil comes out, and then you take it. And what I do is I put it in my coffee in the morning, the tiniest bit, guys, like just a tiny bit. And I've never had a seizure when I've been on it, not once. It helps. I don't take any type of Advil, Aleve, don't need it. Helps with almost everything. And I've been coming off of, thanks to people like Candace and Steve and Lori and Sally Head, you too, Missy and Val, get off some of the medications that I've been on for years, like lithium. People, this is no joke. This is hardcore stuff. And I'm taking an eighth of what I normally take.
That is awesome. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. It took her telling me, like, this is how you have to do it. You split them into 4, then you split them into 8. And
don't ever cold turkey it. Just split it. And that's what your doctor would tell you too. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but never come off any medication like this cold turkey. It can kill you. It can cause you to go in seizures. You have to wean yourself off.
And it's hard for me. I think that comes with the BPD, is sometimes I'm like, fuck this. I'm not taking these pills anymore. I'm just fine. And I am for like a week.
Right.
It's a roller coaster.
This is definitely not a piss on pharmaceuticals day. Yes, pharmaceuticals can help some people, but there are some that are more hurtful than helpful. And we believe in your right to choose. So if you choose that you don't want to be on this anymore, and it's not helping you as much as you were told it would, and it's causing more issues, and you want to get off of it, then more power to you. You should have the right to choose to use cannabis. But if you are on a blood pressure medication, or if you are in severe pain and you need to take some kind of pain medicine, we understand. It's not a pick on you because you're on pharma show, but we just want to offer a healthier alternative to
or
people.
Just tell you our opinion and our story and how it helped us, because what it does for me isn't what it does for Candace, isn't what it will do for you. You just have to try it. And
everyone different. Yeah.
And everyone likes to do it differently. I don't smoke, but there's a reason I don't smoke. I can't roll a joint to save my fucking life. So that's why.
A blind guy taught me how to roll. A blind man. Yeah. I roll pretty good, but I roll fast in the middle.
I know, when you hear the words "who rolled this," you never know if it's a compliment or if it's not.
Yeah, I know. Who rolled this?
Should I say yes or should I not?
I'm like, it smokes, so.
So it works. So be quiet. No, the FICO is definitely what I use, and I use it daily if I need it. Sometimes at night. I have horrible insomnia. For those of you that suffer from insomnia, THC gets you a good indica. Remember, sativa is happy, lucky, laughing, and your indicas are like in the couch. It's gonna make you pass out. And I will say,
in the couch.
Yes, in the couch. It's the only way I remember that. It's the only way. And I had a good friend of mine, Giuseppe, if you're out there, kudos to you. You're a badass friend. He came over, and I hadn't smoked in maybe 3 months, and we just burned one little joint. Oh my gosh, I was like, I forgot how much I love weed. I love it so much. Like, I hadn't felt like that, like,
right.
the feeling where you just like, everything that's in here just kind of like comes out and you can breathe and your shoulders feel less heavy. That's exactly how I felt. And I was like, dude, I got to start smoking again. Like,
Well, we as humans, we go through so much pressure. Not only do we have the gravity pushing us down, we have workload and being at places at times, and cannabis can just lift all that off and let you breathe for a minute and chill. And it's not going to make you go crazy, and it's never killed anyone. There's no side effects. You don't steal so you're not sick the next day because you don't got it. It's not that kind of addiction. Like, it might be it makes me feel better, so I really want it, but you're not going to get sick from not having it. It's not an addictive like a opioid or a Xanax, and it's safer. It's safer for you. It's safer for
it's
everything.
safer for nature, for
Yes.
the ozone layer, for all of it. It's a plant, people. And the thing is that we should be allowed to grow it. Come on, like, not all of us can afford to smoke, to use cannabis, and to be able to grow, 3 little plants or however many it is would be such a blessing to so many people. And I'm not just talking about people that are in, younger ages. No, I'm talking about 60, 70-year-olds that have horrible arthritis and pain and glaucoma and other things and need this. And
I read
they're
an
willing to
article
grow it.
that it's actually turning back the time on Alzheimer's. So not only it's not curing it, but it's making it better. It's not staying the same. So it's actually turning back the tables a little bit. That's going to give them a little bit longer of a clear-headed life. And that's amazing. And yes, a lot of elderly now are using it for all types of issues.
I mean, you just think about when you see a really old person, they just look like they're in pain. Like they deserve to get high.
Right.
Anyone.
Bella.
And I've always believed in
I had to get on my cat. She was trying to get the mouse. Like I told you, they all want to eat each other.
All you need is a bird. You'd have them all to where they really did.
Right, I have the birds outside. I watch them out there. We got mockingbirds and all kinds of cool ass birds. Woodpeckers that come.
Oh, I love it.
I love it.
Every once in a while we see an owl, or I could hear them.
I love
one or two of them. I know I couldn't find them, I couldn't see them, but I was like, they're such a majestic, beautiful animal until you hear that they can spin their heads around.
Right.
Then it becomes sort of weird and demonic. Like,
a little
what just
bit.
happened? Yeah. But I know I get off track, y'all.
No, I got you off track. My cat did actually. She's trying to eat them, so we're good though. A little comedy mixed in there, y'all.
Oh, it's always good for the soul. Always laugh when I dealt with major depression, people. I went through some really bad sexual childhood trauma, as well as something that happened when I was an adult, where there was also sexual trauma, and it really messed me up for a while. Like, I actually tried to take my own life, and
Sorry,
I just couldn't find a way out of my. I would be in the shower and I would hear people coming in, or I would hear my kids crying for me, but they were at school. Like, it was literally taking a toll on me that I couldn't control it. The nightmares, the night terrors, the fear of my children, hearing me scream at night, or, I went through I'm not a big therapy person. I'm one of those people that is like, if I have some good women around like you, and so that to me is better than a therapist appointment anytime, because I know this person cares about me, loves me, and is going to give me the advice they would give their daughter or their sister or their best friend. And I would tell you right now that if I didn't turn to cannabis at that time in my life, I don't know where I'd be today, because that was something that it just let me be in the present for a little while. It took a long time to get over it. And when you go through something terrifying that you can't even wrap your own head around, it does something to you physically as well. You do close up, and you stop wanting to shower. You stop wanting to brush your teeth.
Stop wanting to do anything.
You don't know how to be a mom anymore, because now your kids can make their own food, and it's horrible. Like, you don't want any of it. You don't want it, but it's there, and it doesn't feel like anybody will understand
And
that pain.
you feel like you're making everybody's life worse just being there. Like
a burden. You feel like a burden. Like, I'm the one that everybody has to say, oh, is she going to be able to make it to Christmas, or is it going to be too hard for her this year? Like things like that. Or you're the topic of conversation at a family gathering. I was the black sheep. Like, it was horrible, especially when I was going through my addiction, to hear my family members all whispering about it behind closed doors. Like, but nobody was helping me.
And they don't understand it's a disease. They always blame the person who got addicted. But the thing is, it's the doctor's fault. The doctors knew when they prescribed all these medications, they were addictive. And yes, they tell you, oh, it's addictive, but they don't go into what that means.
And they keep prescribing it. They know they don't ask more questions.
Prescribing it. Yes. And then they cut it all off when the opioid crisis came. Where do you think people went? What's the next thing to an opioid? What is opioids made of? Heroin. And so they end up being that person they thought never would shoot the heroin in their arm, because they're so addicted they can't even get through the day without it. And their doctors just totally yanked it instead of weaning them off, which can cause seizures and death by taking people off this stuff. And they should have weaned people off of them. You know what I mean? They caused so much more problems with
these. It's the kids that I just, it breaks my heart. These teenagers that it got into suburbia because they couldn't afford their OxyContin.
Yep.
That they got prescribed or their parents had in a cabinet. So they turned to heroin, which had fentanyl in it. And guess what? They OD.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that? I think
you start off, like you said, low. Like, you don't start off on heroin. You start off with that Loratab or that hydrocodone your doctor gave you for some pain issue that you had. And then your body builds a tolerance up to that. So eventually those 1 Vicodin a day ain't going to work. You're going to need 3 Vicodin a day, and then those ain't going to work. And you're going to get to where you're taking 10 Vicodin a day to feel the same thing you felt with your 1. And then those aren't going to work. So what do? You go up to a stronger pain medicine, and it just is an endless cycle from there. And that's why people end up on heroin. They didn't wake up one day and say, I want to shoot this in my arm. They didn't. And it is an addiction. And it's so, so horrible that your family, your friends, everyone around you, instead of being there to help you, they look down on you. They blame the person who's in the addiction. Why can't you just be normal? It's a sickness. It's an illness. I can't do this by myself. I can't get off of it by myself. You need your family around to support you. So,
well, if you take it for 10 years, you're not going to get off of it in 3 weeks.
Nope.
I mean, come on, people. We've got to be smart about this. And they do make medications that are for that. But I'm going to tell you right now, in my personal experience, if you're going to go with Suboxone or Subutex, anything like that, it shouldn't be used more than 7 to 14 days, because it is harder to get off than the original opioid you started.
Right.
I was on it for 7 years.
And it almost killed my mom because it built up in her system.
Oh my God.
Like, she was buying the normal amount that you're supposed to buy every day, going to the morphine. It was not morphine, methadone clinic.
Oh, methadone. Okay.
This was methadone. Yeah. She was taking the normal amount. And then one day she just passed out in the grocery store, and her body was storing it and then released it all at once. That shit is so dangerous.
You
Like,
don't even like, nobody tells you that when you sign up
no,
for something. Like, oh, by the way, they
this is
just give
better.
you a
This will help
stack
you
of
get off.
papers.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I think that's another thing I wanted to say. Like when I told my doctor I wanted to stop taking the lithium, the first thing she goes is, all right, let's switch you over to Lamictal. And I went, no, you don't wait. We're not on the same page here. Like
Right.
I'm trying to stop, not exchange one
Right.
drug for another. Like it took me work to get
It's
off
really
of this.
money,
Like,
y'all.
yes.
They are paid to offer you these. If I go to one doctor, they're going to push Paxil on me. And when I go to a different doctor, they're going to say Zoloft, because they're getting paid by those companies to say that. And it's so crazy. I don't know about you, but all the medicine that I was on, it seemed to make it worse because it would
it does
a different thing to have to worry about. Or when instead of just teaching your body how, number one, therapy, like you're saying, heal the reason you're doing that. You are doing this to cover some sort of pain, some sort of trauma, some sort of issue you are dealing with. And when you take that pain medicine, you don't have to deal with it. And so that's what really starts it. And then you end up in this vicious cycle. So therapy, definitely, whether it's your friends, I'm not big on paying somebody either, but some people don't have those people to reach out to.
There is free, let me tell you guys, free stuff all over the place. All you have to do is go online, type it in, free counseling, free family therapy. It's out there.
Or hit up a Canna sister,
much,
because all of us have been through shit and all of us will help you the best we can, because we know what it's like. And it's the biggest exit drug there is. It never was a gateway drug. It will help you get off of all the stuff.
I love that.
And
I love hearing that.
You can still function and you can be a good parent and you can remember what happened yesterday and not
yes,
be nodding off at nice. Christmas and nodding off while they're opening their presents. And it's amazing. And it really is. And you feel so much better once you're off of it. You don't know what you're missing because you've been suppressing.
It's so funny because you're scared. You're scared of being sober, or know, like I want to also say, like, I have a friend, a very good friend that right now she's my age and she is on a transplant list for a liver because of alcohol. And she just had a stroke and she's got all these autoimmune diseases. And this is a legal thing she bought in the store, became addicted to. No one said a damn thing to her. The person selling it
drink
to her
after dinner.
Exactly. I mean, it was bad, but it's like she has no teeth now. She's gained so much weight. She's aged so much. She's not nearly as active. She doesn't leave her apartment. She's got buckets of medicine. And I'm just so sad for her because that could have been me. That could have been you.
Oh yeah.
It could have been any of us because
it was me at a time.
Yeah,
for sure.
I hated hangovers way too much to be an alcoholic.
Like, my death was to kill you, man. I would drink anyone under the table with a bottle of tequila.
I believe it.
Oh, I'm so glad there were not phones and videos.
Nobody snapping your picture every 10 minutes.
Oh,
that's
there
good.
Was so much out there. I can tell some stories, but.
And I want to say to everyone, like, you may have some really good friends out there that you've had for 15 or 20 years that you have some dope ass memories with that you may never fuck with again. But let me tell you about our community. It is non-judgmental. We help each other. And I'm not just talking about those of us that know one another. We help each other even when we don't know one another. And I mean, I won't go into detail, but like Candis has helped me just by introducing me to someone else. And Sally introduced me to Candis and Lori introduced me to Sally. So it's this incredible network of people, not just women, men too, that are out there that want to share information, and especially on education of cannabis, because this is what's important, guys. We're not out here saying we want to be fucking stoners and get high all day and listen to, Bob Marley. No, we just want to live our lives
Save their
happily.
life. And
Save your
we
life.
can't shut up, because we know that we could be that person, like you just said, drinking our life away, but then cannabis, and everybody told us it was so bad, and we're like, no. And we're screaming from the rooftops, y'all. We're screaming at everybody that'll listen. This will help you. This saved my life. And we have no choice. It's in our blood now. Like, it can change everybody's life. It can change so many, and they won't have to be on all these pharmaceuticals, and kids can stop having seizures, and grandmas can feel nice instead of having all this arthritis pain, and pick up their grandbabies instead of just watch them on the floor because they can't hold them. Just change, life changing, y'all, life changing.
And if your family doesn't support it, show them, meaning do what you're doing, and they will eventually see that this is actually helping you, working for you, and giving you your life back, because it helps with neuropathy. I mean, even in your brain, it's connecting here we go, endocannabinoids. I think I got it.
Endocannabinoid system, yes.
And while you sleep, if you're using we use Willow Creek Springs, love them, and they have CBD. And if things like putting a few drops of CBD under your tongue every single night can actually cure these little pathways in your brain that are telling you, oh, you have pain or neuropathy. Because I used to have I don't know what it's called, neuropathy, I guess, but like my hands or legs would jolt out for no reason. I look like a freaking idiot.
It was probably a side effect of a medicine.
Probably.
Because gabapentin did that to me.
Gabapentin. That's what I stopped taking.
Gabapentin did that shit to me, yes.
So that must have been it. That was,
I
they
would be
put
trying
me
to
on
scroll
that.
on my phone, and my hand would just hit buttons, and I'm like, Jesus, I can't do this anymore. I told my doctor I'm not taking this shit no more.
I smacked my kid in the face one day on accident. Just pop.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I actually stopped taking that, and that was actually a big leading reason. My dentist was like, you need to talk to your doctor, because something you're taking is going to rot your teeth out.
Right.
I don't know what medication it is, but it's giving you such bad dry mouth that, like,
Xanax
I
will do
carry
that.
water
Xanax.
bottles around everywhere,
Yep.
because my mouth is dry. And when I stopped taking that gabapentin, that was a huge thing that went away. And I was like, I could have lost my teeth because of this stupid medicine. Like, no, thank you. I mean,
yep. And then people don't understand. They're like, oh, you're missing your teeth. You must be a meth head. No, I took the prescriptions the doctors gave me.
Exactly. And this is what happened.
Yeah.
And thank you so much. Like, I constantly think about some of the doctors that I saw that just didn't want to listen to me. Like, they weren't even looking at me. They were writing the whole time. And I'm like, they're writing me a prescription, and they probably only heard what the nurse said.
Right.
And I don't trust doctors. I'm sorry. I just don't. I've had way too many issues and problems, but I'm going to listen to somebody that has a personal story of success.
Yes.
Especially if it's something I'm dealing with, because that's all we can do for each other is help one another and be kind to one another and be good people. And if you're doing that, like, I think it's something crazy. Like, now 50, for the first time since I guess it was was criminalized, 51% of people now agree to smoking weed. Yep. And think it's just fine. And even if they don't. So the majority is rising slowly. It's as working. Long as we're educating everyone on this plant, these healing processes, our stories, our testimonies, which I know y'all probably can't tell, because I do. I get on here and I get giddy, and I don't stop talking. But I've been like sick all day. My stomach has been like, you're not doing no fucking interview, Natalie. It ain't happening. Watch this.
Watch
So,
your story is going to help so many people today. So that was like
I hope
the negative
so.
energy trying to get you not to talk. And
Because
I'm
I
so
am
glad
not,
you
y'all,
did.
I am not a, I am, I suffer a lot in my head, and just it's everyone just wants to say you can get over this and you can get over this and that. Some of us have a harder time than others, and some of us don't know how to deal with the emotions that things in our life have brought upon us, and we don't understand it. And I know Candis also suffers from PTSD. We've been able to kind of share on that and how to help each other. You need friends. You can't stay in your what Lori would say, your Natalie, you're staying in your cave. That's what she would always say, like, get out of the cave. And I would
We
go
made a
stay
prison
in
for
the corner.
ourselves. Yes, it's a
Yes.
prison. And it's just amazing to have the freedom that you do once you're clean and once you find something that can safely help you.
I remember the first time I laughed off, like there was nothing in me. I still remember the first time I was in rehab, and me and my roommate Deanne were walking, and we just started laughing, and but all of a sudden we both we're like, oh my God, like life can still be okay, like
Yeah.
really better than okay. So I'm happy to say that cannabis has been a wonderful miracle for me. It's helped me, like I said, guys, BPD, PTSD, depression, insomnia, anxiety, you name it. Like I've had, pain, things like that. But more than anything, I would say that, not being in a place of thinking about not wanting to wake up the next day, just
Right.
hoping that maybe someone said she took the wrong pill or took too much because she was so tired. Like I had thought all these things out in my head already.
Right.
And I haven't been in that place. And it is a great thing. And anyone suffering with depression or suicidal thoughts, I'm sure Candis will figure a way to link me on here, and you can always come to me and talk to me. I will listen and I will help you as best I can. I know that Candis has done so much with the, okay, I'm gonna try Human Coalition or Solution Human Coalition. I get them
Human
mixed up.
Solution International.
Okay, so and that this, guys, I'm gonna let Candis talk about it, but I just want to say that it has been amazing. I'm currently just doing silly free things like writing female prisoners that are in prison for nonviolent cannabis crimes. They have no business in there, guys. And all the work that she does with them and all the success that has come out of it. I almost cried when I saw the pictures on Christmas of someone that everyone got helped get out,
Right.
and he was able to be with his family. And this is someone who is just growing medicine, guys. Like,
Right.
it's so sad, but Candis is doing so much with them, and it's a wonderful thing. And I'm drawn to the charity stuff. And I will say that people that are in this industry are so good at volunteering and donating and helping others. Like, we are not a proud people. We are a understanding people, and don't be afraid to ask questions, because that's what we're here for. Like, you don't learn how to use drugs by yourself. Somebody teaches you. Somebody has to teach you how to get off of them. Somebody has to teach you how to get over a traumatic experience that happened when you were a kid or whatever it is. Like, these aren't things that you're born with. They're not in your nature. You have to seek them out sometimes, and don't be ashamed, because we're here for you. We love you. If no one's told you they loved you today,
we love you.
Yes, we do. So I'm gonna let Candace take over. Candace, this has been an amazing interview. I love talking to you guys. If you ever have questions, she is
Anytime, love, for real.
if she don't know it, she's gonna find out for you.
Yes, I will search and look. I will. I promise. I don't ever want to steer anybody wrong. Like that's the big thing with me. I want to make sure that everything I'm saying is 100%. And if I tell you something wrong, I'm going to say, I'm sorry, that was wrong. Don't do that no more.
I'm sorry, you lost both legs.
Oops. No.
You still got two hands.
But hell yeah. Thank you so much, Natalie, for coming on. And as always, you're welcome anytime you want to come. And
oh, thank you guys.
It was a great
love
topic.
being here.
And you
Thank
have a
you so
wonderful
much.
rest of your night.
Oh, I will now. I can go smoke a cigarette and be like, oh, decompress.
There you go. Relax.
All
You
right.
got through
Good
it.
night, everyone. Peace and free the weed in Texas.
Hell yeah, free it. Awesome, y'all. That was Natalie. She's amazing. I love her. Her story is very similar to mine. So when Sally told me, you need to talk to this girl, and I don't even know how really Sally knew that, but divine appointments, y'all. And her story broke my heart, and I could relate to it in a lot of ways. And she's just amazing girl. Amazing, amazing. So if anybody is dealing with addiction and needs somebody to talk to, maybe you're not ready to get off yet, but you want to know a little bit more about it. You know, I'm not going to pressure you. Like, I know it took me a while to get off of it. It takes everybody, they have to do it at their own space, their own time. But if you need any help, me, Natalie, anybody in the cannabis community, you need to talk to a dude, I'll find you a dude if you're a guy. And we can pair you up with somebody that can help for sure if we don't do it ourselves. And cannabis has just helped so much, y'all. Addiction is an endless cycle of death and despair, and we create our own prison on it. And cannabis can help you get off, and cannabis can help you stay off. Did you know? Okay, so I used meth intravenously. 15% of meth users get off and stay off. And I contribute cannabis to that. I bet you every one of those people who got off and stayed off all used cannabis. I would like to see that study. Bet you that's what it is. Because when you use something like that, it lets all your endorphins out. And it takes 2 years for your mind to build back up after you get off. So that's 2 years of literally not being able to be happy. Your endorphins that make you happy are gone. And the only way to do that is to supplement it. Either go back on meth or use cannabis to help. It doesn't fix it totally, but it helps get you past that ditch that you're in. And hell yeah, thank y'all so much for sticking around. I know I'm running a little, well, I started a little late, so we're not that far, but I wanted to say a little bit about the Human Solution International. We are offering job opportunities to everybody out there. If you want to make a little extra money, what you would do is you would go and be boots on the ground. We'll teach you different places you can go to look for different donations, whether it be gift certificate. Well, it's cash donations is what's going to get you your money, but all of that will help. And you're able to get 20% of whatever you find donated to the Human Solution International. All of that goes to our mentor program, helping the prisoners that are being released. We are starting that mentor-based prisoner reentry program. And it's been proven to help people get out and stay out if they have this kind of help. Filling the gap with support within the first 1 to 3 months. Emergency one-time money fund of $500 to $1,000 for their immediate needs, such as clothes, food, toiletries, a phone, ID, social security card, stuff like that. Putting money in their hands for that. And not only giving them money, but having a mentor, somebody that they can call, hey, I'm having a hard time today. or I don't know how to use this phone. Like they just handed me this thing and they told me to go find a job. Like, how do I fill out an application on a phone? I used to do it on paper. There are no paper applications anymore. So you have there, and Craig was like, even the money was different. And I didn't even think about that. He went in 19 years ago. He got out. Our money, even every quarter is different now. Like before it was all one quarter, but now they all look different. So it's crazy. Thank you, Steve. Definitely. Love you, Lori, for hanging out. Y'all are amazing. Much love and respect to everyone who joined. But yes, 20% of all the donations that you collect for this mentor program, you get to keep and put in your own pocket for your help. So you get $100 donation, you get to keep 20 of it. You get $1,000 donation, you get 200 of it. So, and we will show you, there's actually all states right now that we're learning about with Carlos. They have something called a Helping Hands grant. And he's taught us how we can go to the different all states and ask them to put us on this grant and donate it to the Human Solution. It's a grant that they get every year. There's a $1,000, a $5,000, and a $10,000 one. And the all state pays for it, not the people. So it's called Helping Hands grant, and they teach you how to go get that. And we will give you a paper like this. You can't read it, but it's explaining what the mentor program is. And then they teach you how to get in there and collect those donations from different places. So that's a way to make some extra cash, get some money in your hand, and help some prisoners that are being released for cannabis, y'all. So if you would like to get involved with that, if you want to donate or get involved with this job opportunity, go to www.thsintl.org. You can make a check payable to the Human Solution International. And all donations are tax deductible, and a donation receipt will be given as you do a donation. So you want to get involved in helping do this work thing and make 20% of your donations, hit us up, let us know on our website. Same thing with if you want to just donate $10, same thing, go to the website. And it all is going to go to helping prisoners that are being released. We have a new, if you don't understand why these prisoners need help, we have a new segment on IG called Welcome to Mars every Wednesday at 4. And we are taking turns interviewing different prisoners about some of the difficulties they had when they were released and some of the things that they could have got help on that would have helped them. We're picking their brains a little bit. So come join us over there. It's only on IG, on the Human Solution International IG. And then we have the Wendy Love Edge Show season 6. I will be doing the Mile High News. I've been doing it. It's been real fun, and it comes out every Wednesday. And then we got Cup of Joe every Wednesday at 7. So all those things are involved with the Human Solution, all ways that you can help out and support. And yeah, I think that's all. Thank you so much, Natalie, again, for joining me. I had a great time. Thank you, everybody who's listened. If you enjoy the show, please share it, heart it, like it. Go join my YouTube channel, Candis Dyer Facebook page, and TikTok. I believe it's Canna Corner TikTok, and the THSI Texas chapter on IG, and the Human Solution International everywhere. Much love and respect, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful Monday night.